Welcome back, boxing fans, to another great show with Sean and Sean on boxing and Lily. Yes, Lily is my silent co-host. Not much to say, but when she does speak, it speaks volumes. So you can tell by the title today, we're going to be talking about boxing fans. And this isn't the boxing thing. People want to make this about boxing, but it has nothing to do with boxing. Right? The things we see now about people trolling and people just going all over social media being dicks. Literally, you see this shit all over social media. It's just there's a certain amount of people around that just have nothing better to do but troll online. In Taichung, we have a group, Taichung blah 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 group, right? Just for foreigners, if you want to get information on something, help find a house, a motorcycle, how to get your license, anything like that that a new person to Taichung might need to know. But you can go on that forum, ask a simple, very straightforward question, and you're going to get some douchebag fucking trolling you with some stupid ass fucking comment. Because that's the world we live in today. There's just these lonely, sad fucking individuals with no friends and no lives that would rather just troll people online. And it's not just boxing, it's literally everywhere. And obviously, with the current situation in America, the real division between uh, the supposed division, which is, of course, what the media and social media tries to portray, because that's what they want. They want infighting amongst the people that live in the country. For the most part, I think it's all bullshit, but it is what it is. There's just a sad bunch of people that just look for a reason to fucking hate and fucking point fingers and fucking moan and fucking cry. And unfortunately, we also have the same kind of situation going on in the boxing environment, and we've had it going on for fucking a number of years now, really since the beginning of social media. Uh, the machines in the house, what's up? Dolomite, what's up? Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. Sean, it's Ja. What's up, brother? So I saw a video today, and it was the same kind of rambling bullshit that you always see from many of these YouTube channels, right? The same people who consistently hated on Asian fighters, Eastern European fighters, Latin fighters, but yet consistently moan and groan that Black American fighters are so hated on. Are they hated on any more than fucking anybody else? Like, who's been hated on more than Canelo Alvarez over literally the last fucking 8 years? Nobody. But all these Devin Haney fanboys now, oh my god, they actually act as if somebody really fucking gives a fuck. People don't really care that much about Devin Haney. You can go to their channels and you can see literally every video is about Devin Haney. Like you go to fucking Tank Davis fans and every video is about Tank Davis, right? These guys are just obsessive compulsive fans of individual fighters. They're not boxing fans. You know this because when there's big boxing fights going on and events, specifically ones outside the US, these guys don't even talk about it. The guy that made this video today has went out of his way to shit on the Japanese fight card in Saudi Arabia, right? Yet this guy wants to criticize and moan about how FBA fighters don't get enough love. It's not fucking other people's responsibility to love the fighter you love. I don't care if people like Lomachenko or Golovkin. Just don't be fucking hypocrites. Just don't fucking lie, which is what I've always pointed out. This goes back again. Once again, we go back to Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao wasn't relevant because of Floyd Mayweather. Pacquiao was relevant in spite of Floyd Mayweather. As Floyd Mayweather once said, his favorite fighter was Manny Pacquiao. And that was, of course, when Pacquiao was fighting Marquez and Morales and Barrera at lower divisions, right? And was one of the most exciting fighters in boxing. You cannot say that Manny Pacquiao wasn't exciting, right? Because that would be an outright lie. And when Manny Pacquiao moved to welterweight, it wasn't to chase Floyd Mayweather. He was pulled up by Oscar De La Hoya. Floyd Mayweather had retired from the sport of boxing at that time, right? So Floyd was not relevant. Pacquiao went in there and fucking destroyed Ricky Hatton, destroyed fucking Oscar De La Hoya, and now, of course, the jealous motherfucker that Floyd Mayweather was felt entitled to come back and somehow get his number one ranking in boxing once again. But the first thing his father and him did was start accusing Pacquiao of using PEDs. And these same Floyd Mayweather fanboys, who of course are same fanboys of fucking Devin Haney now, uh, these guys consistently put out that negative bullshit about Pacquiao being on PEDs and use that to justify Floyd Mayweather ducking him for 8 fucking years until Marquez knocked him out, Tim Bradley beat him, and then all of a sudden, then Floyd Mayweather wanted to fight him after doing fucking what PBC fighters historically have done. We saw Floyd do it consistently, fight in-house PBC fucking tin can fighters, Guerrero, Ortiz, fucking Berto, fucking a whole fucking spectrum of in-house mediocre fucking fighters, right? Charging you and I big pay-per-view to put out bullshit, boring fucking fights. And the thing is, if you think he's fucking exciting, cool. But the irony is, they don't think he's exciting because they go, "Oh, remember when he was at 135? He was super exciting when he was Pretty Boy Floyd." So you need to go back years and years before to justify him as being exciting. Yet when you go back to that time, he wasn't a pay-per-view fighter. He was a fighter that was behind Roy Jones, behind Oscar De La Hoya, behind Mike Tyson, right? He was not a star at that time. He became a star after he fought, of course, Oscar De La Hoya, and then became a very boring fighter, retired from the welterweight division when it was fucking hot for 2 years, came back after all those fighters had literally beat the shit out of each other. And then fucking ducked Pacquiao for 8 fucking years and accused him of using PEDs consistently. Yet these guys get bent out of shape when people accuse fucking Haney, Bud, fucking Tank, whoever, any FBA fighter of using PEDs because they haven't been caught. Pacquiao hadn't been caught either. But that didn't stop you for fucking 10 years, a fucking decade, hating on Pacquiao. And then these guys talk about how Floyd was racially hated. Yet I remember that time. A lot of fans that love Floyd were fucking white, Latin fighters, and a lot of the guys that didn't like Floyd, like 78 and blood boxing, were Black Americans. So it had nothing to do with race. Of course, there was racial fucking hating towards Floyd, just like there was racial hate towards Pacquiao, right? But this is the problem with guys like that are obsessive compulsive fanboys and fucking race baiters. They're doing the same thing today that they did then. They act as if they can do no wrong, their fighters can do no wrong, their people can do no wrong, and then point fingers at fucking everyone. It's the same thing fucking Israelis did for years, calling everyone anti-Semite if you fucking didn't agree with what Israel's doing. And now you have all the Palestinian mental fucking cases doing the same thing now, as if fucking they're any better, fucking terrorists, right? Like, this is social media. This is what it brings us. This kind of radicalized fucking bullshit opinion. And unfortunately, the loud wheel gets the oil. So mostly that's what we see. And those are the fucking channels that get most of the views. Yet when you go look at those channels, they're talking the least about boxing because the people that support them don't care about boxing. They just want fucking drama, right? Just want drama. Stringer from above, what's up? Haney fanboys are the worst. The fucking worst, man. Like, if you like Haney, that's your prerogative. Do I have to like Devin Haney? He's fucking boring. His last 2 fights, since the Ryan Garcia fight, he's averaged 70 landed punches. 70. I mean, remember Pacquiao when he was fucking pound for pound #1, dominating boxing, and was a superstar in the sport. He was averaging over 1,000 punches a fight. 1,000 punches thrown per fight. Devin Haney's landing 70. Like, heavyweight boxers are landing more punches than that. And that just gives you a true fucking indication of what kind of style he's coming out with. Boring, safety first. People didn't like Rigo when he did it. They didn't like fucking Lara when he did it. They didn't like Caleb Plant when he did it. They didn't like Klitschko when he did it. People don't fucking like that style. It has nothing to do with race, it's style. But guys like this want to always make it about race. Literally bring up Klitschko. People didn't hate on Klitschko when Klitschko was boring as fuck. Really, no fight in modern boxing was more fucking lamented and criticized than Klitschko Fury. A fight that had such huge viewership and such a large live audience in Germany, right? Generated so much money, yet nobody wanted to do a second fight because the first fight was so fucking horrendous to watch that nobody could stomach a potential second fight between Fury and Klitschko. But nobody was hating on Klitschko. Imagine such a blatant fucking fabrication, such a blatant lie just to push some bullshit racial fucking story, which ain't even fucking close to being true. Are there people that hate FBA fighters? Sure, there are. But a lot of the FBA fighters that cry and moan about that fucking hate Latin fighters. Have you seen Bruce Bane's fucking content? Dude fucking hates fucking anything Latin. It's like some Latin dude fucked his chick. Hey, Bruce. And then for years, these guys have been hating on fucking all the Eastern European fighters for years. For years. And now it's Asian fighters that are getting hate. Whenever there's a fighter that they think is potentially a threat to their throne, even though it's not your fucking throne. Just because a guy's black that fucking was the best fighter in boxing, how is that relevant to you? Some fucking loser at home that fucking what? What do you do? What do you contribute to your fucking people, to your culture, except trolling and fucking crying on fucking line? Like, I don't need white fighters to fucking build me up. I like Lomachenko, but not because he's white. I like Golovkin, but not because he's white. Because Golovkin was fucking exciting to watch. He was a fucking boxer puncher that mowed people down. Lomachenko was this great amateur, high volume, super skilled, right? The people said he's a slick fighter too. Slick fighter. The dude's a come forward fighter, right? He's not a fucking safety first dude that fights behind a jab. But once again, they're making it all about race because everything that for them is about race, right? I see these comments on my page all the time from moronic fucking idiots. But Dolomite says they got to keep the hype going, trying to shame you into don't believe your lying eyes. People see the hype isn't real, but they're criticized if you tell the truth. Well, exactly. It's the same thing that I saw people talking about the whole Muslim invasion currently in the UK and how for years you couldn't point things out because people would call you a racist. Same thing, that's happening in the States right now. It's not about brown people. It's about people that don't want to fucking bend and don't want to become part of fucking the culture. In Canada, we've always had lots of immigrants. It's what it is. I grew up, all my friends were immigrants. That's the community I grew up in, middle class. But when people move into the community, fucking despise the country, despise fucking the holidays like Christmas and other things, and then how do you accept people like that into your country? I live in a different country now. Do you think I'm hating on Chinese fucking holidays? Going around protesting and making noise during fucking Chinese New Year? Like, what kind of douche would I be? But that's what they are. That's the kind of douches they fucking are. Haney fanboys, what's up, Sean? What's up? Enjoy your stream. Sipping on some Corona Familiar. Hey, nice. That's a fact, Sean. Lots of narrative pushers use the he's never popped dirty, but yet had no issue accusing Manny of almost a decade. Exactly. Where's the fucking consistency? I don't really talk about anybody using fucking PDs one way or the other because it is what it is. I know fucking shitloads of people in boxing use it, and it ain't just fucking non-black fighters. Like, once again, there's this I'm better than you fucking racial narrative that a lot of these fucking people push, right? Acting as if their shit don't stink. Let me tell you, shit stinks. Don't matter fucking what color fucking container it comes out of. It's still shit. hate on Pacquiao so much that he had to sue Floyd, but it was too late and the damage was done, soiling Manny's name. Exactly. He still got paid millions of dollars. I can't remember the exact point, but he got money from Floyd's family for pushing that bullshit. What is the point of this live? Why do you focus so much on black people? What's your point of being on my live if you don't like it? I'm responding to a YouTube content creator that wants to always point fingers at everyone else, accusing them of hating FBA fighters. I'm just showing you that this is not fucking an FBA fucking hate type of thing. What it is, it's a bunch of crybaby motherfuckers who literally fucking hate on everyone, moaning and groaning that people don't kiss the ass of their favorite fighter. We saw the PBC hype jobs, and they've all been exposed, all of them, right? But these guys were fanboyed because of what? Because the promoter was black. They supported PBC because fucking Al Heyman was black. They don't even know if Al Heyman was black because they never even saw Al Heyman. They never heard him speak. It could have been fucking some dude playing blackface, right? Because that's how fucking stupid many of these guys are. They're so racially fucking ingrained. They're so fucking jealous. Fucking, I don't even know what word to use to describe them when literally every word that comes out of their mouth is racial. This dude proves my point about a bunch of fucking troll motherfuckers online. And this isn't about boxing, it's all over. He's got a Trump fucking thing on his thing. That tells you everything, right? There's people all over social media like this fucking loser that all they do is fucking scroll through, fucking trolling everybody, being complete fucking dicks. Yet when you get them outside of their house, what are they? Fucking dudes that nobody would fuck, losers. That's all they are, living in their mom's basement. Like, these guys got nothing else to do. How else do you have like a million fucking troll channels that you can fucking troll all over fucking the internet? Because you have no fucking life. I guess the only good thing I can say is at least you're not spending all your fucking time playing video games, loser. Haney is keeping the spirit of Floyd's carefully choosing opponent style going. His fans want him to shortcut his way in an attempt to surpass Crawford's achievements. The point is, what Devin is doing is great for a guy his age. And when you compare him to the other young fighters coming through, I've consistently praised Devin Haney for the things he's done. I don't think he beat Lomachenko. I don't think fucking Brian Norman was a proven fighter. I don't think you become pound for pound number 3 on any legitimate list because you beat Brian Norman. And literally, he's not number 3 on any fucking legitimate list, only on JB Boxing's or LDBC channels. Because we know the same way they blew up smoke fucking up Deontay Wilder's ass, that's what they're doing to fucking Haney. And this builds hate towards Devin Haney. This kind of bullshit. You got the Tank Davis fanboys and the Devin Haney fanboys going back and forth. It's nothing to do with racism. They're both black. The same way we had Errol Spence, Bud Crawford's fans going at each other. Once again, nothing to do with racism. Both fucking black fan bases shitting on their fighters. But then people still want to point at me and you and everybody else and say all this hate they're getting is racial. No, it's not racial. People are calling Devin Haney boring. You know why? Because Devin Haney is boring. Has he always been boring? No. But in his last 2 fights, he's been fucking terrible, landing 70 punches. How many is that for 12 rounds? Let's do the math. 3.8. So you're landing 3.8 punches fucking a fucking round. You can't tell me how that's exciting in any fucking world. Any world at all. But let's see. 70 divided by 12 equals, okay, it's better than I thought. So 5.8. So less than 6 punches landed per fucking round. Low volume punchers like Canelo Alvarez, Tank Davis, Deontay Wilder maybe landed that much punches. But every punch they landed potentially was a fucking knockout waiting to happen. Right? Klitschko similarly. Devin Haney, no, that's not him. Well, isn't that what you're doing? You're trolling. I'm not trolling anybody. I'm focusing on the narratives and the fucking hypocritical fucking bullshit that they're putting. How am I trolling when I'm giving my opinion? You're the one trolling because you don't use your real name. You're fucking hiding your identity, fucking jumping on every channel, fucking trying to stir shit. Then you'll go back to other channels and you'll rat people out because that's the kind of snitch fucking you are. You know, nobody fucking gives a fuck what somebody like you has to say because you have no integrity. None. All my stuff is online, there for everyone to see. I'm not trying to hide who I am. This is my opinion. If I don't like Devin Haney and I don't like Floyd Mayweather, I'm not saying you don't have to like them. I just say I don't like them. And when you try to say Devin Haney's over fucking Inui on a pound for pound list, I'll point out the fucking error of your judgment. Because literally, there's no legitimate pound for pound list in the world that has Devin Haney in the top five. None. Does that mean he can't potentially become top five? Of course he can. I made a video talking about how the top fighters could all potentially become number one. Everybody. Nothing to do with racial. It had to do with accomplishments and the opponents you beat. Uh, Look at this. You're getting offended by content that's not probably isn't towards you. What do you mean isn't towards me? When you make content, it's there for fucking everybody to view. That's what YouTube is. It's not a select fucking group of people. Anybody can go view fucking content on YouTube. Anybody. And when we're boxing fans, we view boxing content. When I hear content that's a blatant lie, a fabrication, it's my fucking right to comment on it. Am I hating? No. I'm pointing out fucking my opinion and trying to fucking lay the facts on the table. So that's the problem. A lot of people think their opinions are somehow factual. No, it's your opinion. There's no fact to it. Salute Sean. What's up, my brother? Pound for pound. Pathetic. Sean never trolls. No. Who am I trolling? By telling you the truth, it's only a troll when you're offended by it. When channels like Dante and Ego fucking choose to block me, I'm not lying. I'm not fucking calling them racial epithets. I'm not fucking talking a load of bullshit. I'm literally pointing out facts. But they don't want people to point out facts because they don't care about facts. They only care about narrative because they're trying to get money off of YouTube by fucking stirring the pot and creating fucking drama. By me saying that's what they're doing, am I trolling? Because I say the same thing about fucking the news networks fucking around the world as well. Why do you need to focus on black people's narratives? Just stop watching them and focus on boxing. Says the guy who's on my channel. I never said Haney was over Inui. I never said you did. With the lineup that's left at welterweight, Haney can clean it out easily if Shakur doesn't move up in time. Well, that's the thing. Obviously, potentially the best scenario would be if Shakur beats Teo, because that would elevate him over fucking Haney. Most legitimate pound for pound lists already have Shakur over Haney. I don't think that's fair. I think Haney deserves to be over Shakur. He's done far more than Shakur has. Shakur gets a lot of praise based on the contact, or eye test, not based on actual legitimacy of what he's done. He's won vacant titles like Clarissa Shields, right? How much praise do you get for winning vacant titles? Right? You can't get that much praise when you're not beating world champions to win fucking vacant belts. Uh, if he beats Teal in his fourth weight division, that shit is fucking serious. Because Teal already has the best wins out of all the young fighters in boxing, Taylor and Lomachenko. Haney's best win is Lomachenko, but Teal already beat Lomachenko before Haney did. So how great is Devin Haney's win over Lomo compared to fucking Teal? It's not fucking as great because most people feel he lost. And if Shakur moves up to welterweight, the fight that should have happened at 135 can now happen at 147 for fifth weight division for fucking Shakur. If Shakur does that, we're talking about potentially him and Inui as the 1 and 2 pound for pound top fighters in boxing once Crawford and Usyk leave, right? But people just want to jam Haney in there. I mean, okay. But who's Haney beating at 147 that's going to elevate him on the pound for pound list? Barrios? Rolly Romero? Fucking the English guy? What's his name? Crocker? Who's even seen Crocker fight? Uh, so your content is based on other people's opinions. No, actually, if you watch my content, you know that's not fucking true at all. My content is based on whatever the fuck I want to talk about. If occasionally I want to refer to other people's videos, then occasionally I will. But when I'm talking about Whitaker winning, that's nothing to do with anyone else. That nobody is forcing, but that is Olmatov pro debut. That has nothing to do with it. PBC card is a snoozer. That's my opinion on a card. Not trolling anyone. Shakur isn't one of the four kings. That I'm pointing out a fucking factual error. So I have plenty of videos that have nothing to do with anyone else's opinion. It's just boxing content. Because if I only wanted to focus on that, I'd be no different than all these channels that dick ride Devin Haney, the whole LDBC. I'd be no different than Fannin, Ego, Knockout Boxing, who just dick ride Tank Davis, right? Every video they make is on the same fucking topic. I don't do that. I talk about boxing from around the world, even when I know many people don't care and won't watch it. I don't give a fuck. I'm making boxing content. And if you're a boxing fan, maybe you'd want to watch that. If you're all about narratives, like some people, then there you are. Facts user is a professional victim, obviously. But that's what I'm saying about a lot of these content creators, unfortunately, on YouTube. Professional fucking victims, right? And right now, America's full of professional victims. They're called fucking Democrats. The whole fucking country full of professional victims. And unfortunately, fucking 90% of them, white fucking women. White women who are fucking selling their countries away, right? So, in truth, me, the brothers, we got the same fucking story. We realize that as men, strong men, the world is trying to fucking step on our genitals and fucking push us down. Unlike them, I ain't making this racial because we're on the same fucking course in history. Save the country and don't let fucking women fucking sell us out. Because as a man, you know, they're just trying to fucking tear us down. As a white man, more so than anything, because obviously fucking every bad in the world is my fault. Uh, but the brothers, they realize that shit too. They unfortunately they for some extent just want to be like everyone else and fucking point fingers at the white man as if everything is our fault. Sooner or later, buddy, that's gonna come back and burn you too, because you're a man. You're not transgendered. You're not a woman. You're not identifying as a fucking lamppost, right? You're a fucking guy that watches boxing. So somehow I doubt you're fucking that woke. You look at the LDBC dudes, they're homophobic as fuck. So they are far from woke. But let's get to this shit. Because the truth is, I mean, it's this fanboy mentality. Obviously, anyone that watches my channel knows I'm a Golovkin fan. I don't care if you like Golovkin or not. But if you're going to lie and be dishonest, I'm going to point that out. The same situation that fucking Bud Crawford went through is the same situation that Golovkin went through. And I did the same thing with response to fucking Golovkin, and I did the same thing in response to Bud Crawford. I pointed this out. The fact that all these motherfuckers were blatantly fucking ducking them. The problem is Golovkin's the wrong color. So people just can't get on board with that narrative. But with Bud Crawford, many of them want to get on it and act as if he was somehow treated unfairly because he was black. So I guess Golovkin was treated unfairly because he's fucking Asian, right? because he went through the same bullshit that fucking Bud Crawford went through, blatantly getting fucking ducked by the top guys in his divisions. Blatantly, right? Which is why I pointed that out with regards to both of them. Has nothing to do with race. It's fucking fact. Truth. That's it. You do get defensive when somebody criticizes GGG. It's not defensive. You can criticize GG. It's the fucking double standard people use to criticize GG while they fucking dick ride and fanboy other fighters. I defended Canelo Alvarez for the same fucking scenario. Am I a Canelo Alvarez fan? Am I? Just because I point out the bullshit, I'm not a fucking Canelo Alvarez fan. Never have been a Canelo Alvarez fan. I'm a Golovkin fan, yes, but I'm consistent. Same with Canelo, same with Bud, same with Golovkin. I'm just spitting truth. Am I always right? Obviously not. Nobody's fucking always right. But for the most part, I'm consistent. I'm not fanboying somebody because they look like me. I look at people criticizing Junto Nakatani all because they're pushing this Asian hate campaign. Like, how are you going to have Shakur ranked high in the pound for pound list and say that it's not about chasing titles, it's about who you've beaten? Yet, who the fuck has Shakur Stevenson beat? I'm not hating him. I'm just using him as a comparison. Compared to Junto, he hasn't beat fucking nearly as many champions. They both became three-weight world champions and unified. One is super exciting, knocking motherfuckers out and grabbing the world by storm and chasing after the biggest fighter in his country. Shakur is doing the same. Was chasing fucking Lomachenko, was chasing Tank Davis. That's why I don't hate on Shakur. I don't appreciate his style of boxing, but I appreciate his skill set. And I appreciate the fact that he wants all the smoke. But when you want to talk about resume, that dude's fucking done nothing, right? Ryan Garcia, one of the four kings, he's done more than Shakur Stevenson has. We know why, because he's fucking shit and he draws big money. Shakur is great and draws fucking little money. That's the clear difference between those two fighters. And that's factual, truthful, right? You don't see me dick riding fucking Ryan Garcia getting a fucking world title coming off of a fucking loss. No. Just like I didn't dick ride Errol Spence getting a fucking world title coming off of a fucking loss. Consistent. I was hated on because I pointed out fucking that Spence didn't deserve a world title, and people went at Lomachenko, a guy who lost a controversial fight to Devin Haney, who then vacated his titles, leaving 4 vacant titles in the division. You don't think Lomachenko was going to get to fight for one of those titles after he was elevated to #1 by every single sanctioning body because of the controversy between the Devin Haney Lomachenko fight? But Errol Spence deserves a fight coming off of a brutal knockout loss at a fucking smaller weight division, moving up to take on a champion after being inactive for 2 years. But I'm the one that's full of shit. I'm the fucking one pushing racial fucking divide and hate. What? I don't think Keith Thurman fucking deserves the title either. I don't think Ryan Garcia deserves a fucking title. I don't even think fucking Tim Tszyu deserves a fucking world title fight coming off of a knockout loss versus fucking Murtazaliev. And I pointed that truth out fucking every single time. None of that's racial because they're all fucking different colors. You got fucking Latin guys, white guys, black guys, fucking, light skinned brothers. So I'm just being fucking consistent. I also said Pacquiao, an Asian, didn't deserve a world title fight coming off of a loss and fucking retirement. But at the same time, I understand why some fighters get these fights. And when the PBC's involved, all they give a fuck about is pay-per-view and money. So be sure that fucking if Charlo, Spence, Pacquiao, or any name fighter wants to come back and get a world title fight, the PBC is gonna fucking be behind it, and they're gonna fucking do that shit right away. And I'm against it, regardless of who the fighter is. But acting like Lomachenko's in that scenario, give me a fucking break. How is Lomachenko compared to any of the people I just mentioned, coming off of a controversial loss to Devin fucking Haney? Oh my God. We understand why you're hating on Loma. It's like people that talk to me and consistently pull out Golovkin. Oh, well, Golovkin, blah, 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 blah. What do you mean Golovkin? How's Golovkin involved in a fucking conversation when we're talking about light heavyweights? What the fuck? How's Golovkin involved in a conversation? We're talking about 126-pound fighters, but they want to try to make it racial so they consistently pull Golovkin into the conversation. You guys see it when you're on my live all the time. Dudes will always fucking use Golovkin uh, strictly because he's non-FBA. He's also not white. He's also Asian, but whatever. Neither of these. What's neither of these? Ja, JA, why are you so silent? Am I wrong or am I being truthful? Consistent. Consistency is my middle fucking name. Sean Consistency Newton. It's on my birth certificate. Boom. But it is what it is. I just thought it was ironic today when I saw this kind of video. And the irony is he took the video down because the whole premise of the video is racist. Literally. Because you act as if people don't have a right to an opinion. You don't have to like Golovkin. But why do you keep pulling his name into fucking conversations? It's like me pulling Deontay Wilder into every fucking conversation when I'm trying to talk about a fucking overrated fucking one-dimensional fighter who fucking never lived up to expectations. Do I do that? No. Actually, when I talked about Deontay Wilder recently, I was fucking fanboying to give him a big opportunity to get a Jake Paul fucking fight. I think he deserved the Jake Paul fight over Anthony Joshua, right? And this is a guy coming off of a loss, but it's not a world title fight. It's a fucking social media fucking event. I used to be on the same page as you with the whole race dynamic in the sport, and I still do to an extent. But as I watch more of the YTBC, I notice it happens on both sides, especially the Latin fans. See, but now you're fucking pointing out Latin fans. No, it happens on both fucking sides. It happens from Latin fans who hate on the brothers, and it fucking sure as fuck happens on the brothers' channels, hating on everyone that's not a fucking brother. Well, hating on the brothers too, but Latin fighters hating on Canelo. So I mean, Latin fans hating on Canelo. So Latin hate, black hate. The reality is you don't have to fucking like who you don't like. No one's trying to force you to be a fan of fighters you don't like for whatever reason it is. But when you're accusing other people of being racially motivated, when fucking it's clear as day that is your only fucking motivation, there's the hypocrisy, right? Blatant fucking hypocrisy. Some of my favorite fighters are actually from all fucking ethnicities. My favorite fighter of all time was Sugar Ray Leonard. I grew up getting into boxing because of Muhammad Ali, right? You know, but when people act as if currently FBA fighters are dominating the sport of boxing, that's histrionics because it ain't true right now. Does it mean there might not be a resurgence of FBA fighters dominating the sport? Of course not. There's lots of great fighters out there. The problem is, as I pointed out before, a lot of American athletes overall are entitled fucking pricks, right? And you also get it in the UK with fucking footballers as well, right? Dudes that fucking have tons of talent and are just fucking dickheads because they're entitled pricks. I mean, if you watch football in the UK, you totally fucking know what I'm talking about. Guys like fucking Sancho, who was the great fucking striker for Man U, who had a an assault charge versus his girlfriend, right? Oh, what's his name? Great player on team, England team, looked like fucking one for the future, the next guy to take over for Harry Kane. But you get these kind of dickheads in all sports because they're getting paid so much money, getting so much fucking adulation and so much attention, which is fine. But don't be surprised as an athlete when the fans rip you a fucking new one because the same reason you getting all this love and all this money and all this celebrity, it's gonna fucking eventually fucking blow up in your face because you're gonna get just as much fucking criticism in the long run, right? That's the difference between being an athlete now and being an athlete back in the day. When you had fucking Dr. J going to play in fucking Rutgers Park with his big afro, his fucking bell bottoms, right? Walking in, looking like fucking, you know, uh, super hip from 1970, going in there, dunking on motherfuckers left, right, and center. People hanging off the fences, hanging out windows, sitting on top of roofs, right? He could have went out, did some heinous shit. Nobody would have cared because nobody would have known, right? The amount of information fans had back in the day was very limited. So you could fucking be a superstar. Now somebody's always watching you. You say something at home in the fucking uh, walls of your own home, that shit's gonna come out and fucking end up being used against you, right? No motherfucker can get away with anything nowadays. Um, no matter how good an FBA fighter is, John Boxing will still find a way to make a victim of him. Well, that's it, right? Devin Haney only has himself to blame and his dad. Him fucking not being able to adjust in the ring to Ryan Garcia's left hand, then fucking wanting to sue Ryan Garcia because of money he lost, even though you're the one that tried to fucking use Ryan Garcia to make money because you saw that he was a punk that was fucking a big money maker and there to be beaten because you saw Tank Davis fucking do it. The problem is you didn't fucking do it. And then you moan about PEDs and this and that. It's like, dude, man, like you'd win more respect if you just shut the fuck up, went in there, and then beat Ryan Garcia's ass in the rematch, right? The way Cotto did to Margarito. We don't need a bunch of social media fucking finger. We saw you at the amusement park getting into a fight with a fucking guy that worked there, only for your fucking homies to fucking jump in and fucking gang rush the dude. Are we supposed to respect that? Like, there's not a lot of things to respect about Devin Haney. He fights like a pussy. He acts like a pussy. His dad fucking treats him like a pussy. The fact your daddy is fighting your battles and you're a fucking grown man that has a kid, like, what's the respect about him? But at the same time, that's his personal life. The only thing that matters is what he does in the ring. And what does he do in the ring? Fucking land 70 punches in his last two fucking fights. Don't fucking don't tell me that I'm supposed to be excited and I'm supposed to fucking be impressed because a brother landed 70 punches in a fight. When Lomachenko threw fucking no punches in the first 6 rounds versus Tio, everybody was critical of his lack of fucking output. But even though he didn't fight for the first 6 rounds of that fight, he still ended up fucking landing more than 70 fucking punches in that fight. Let's just check it on BoxRec, just to be factual, because facts are important. What are the CompuBox punch numbers for Lomachenko versus Tio Lopez? Uh, yeah, I just said it happens on both sides, so I think only going in on one side is redundant, but I understand experience shapes reality, and you are a Pac fan, mainly experience hate from FBO fans. That's a lot of truth there. A lot of insight. Well, I started my channel to point out the fucking hypocrisy and double standard, right? And obviously, here we are now, 10 years later or whatever it is. So Lomachenko didn't throw punches in the first 6 rounds, still landed 141 punches. Landed 40 punches less than Tio, but threw 300 punches less. That's a pretty high fucking connect rate, right? Which is why people thought maybe Lomachenko was going to stop Teo, or potentially I thought he could get a draw if he won the 12th round. But yeah, but I do point out other fucking narratives. It's just John. Uh, he's my arch nemesis. Actually, I just like fucking giving John the grill because John just is the epitome of fucking ignorant stupidity. A guy that's in a fucking mixed marriage, but fucking pushes all this pro fucking Black lives type of mentality, right? Like the reality is that dude is so fucking delusional, so fucking caught up by fucking the narrative, by the media, that he really thinks fucking the whole world's out to get him, right? And that's what I find fucking ridiculous. Because unlike John, I've traveled, I've lived abroad. So, I know what he's saying is bullshit. He just always wants to fucking accuse everybody of what one other person is saying. But you can't do that. You can't fucking generalize. When I say the LDBC and John, Ego, and Fannin, that's who I'm talking about. It's a very small, select group of people. Does this mean there's more people out there that think like them and support them? I'm sure there are. And I've pointed out growing up as a kid that I was the exact same fucking way. All my friends, we fucking hated fucking Duke, hated the fucking white players in the NBA and college. The only white player that I supported growing up was fucking Rex Chapman. And it's because Rex Chapman was fucking different. Rex Chapman would dunk on a motherfucker's head. Also, I liked Tom Chambers as well, and Bobby Cunningham, or sorry, Bobby Jones. So there's been some white players that I've enjoyed watching. But overall, I've always appreciated the brothers far more because of the speed athleticism. When you can get a non-brother doing that, you can point it out and fucking be impressed to see that other people are fucking impressing and putting out fucking uh great effort in sports, right? I'm still waiting for a non-black dude to fucking win the 100, right? I know the fucking Italian guy won, but he's mixed, right? So that doesn't really do anything. Yes, Cooper Flag dropped 35. I watched that game. Youngest player to do it. Oh yeah, there you go. Only 18 still. But Cooper's gonna get the same kind of fucking hate that Caitlin Clark is getting, right? You just know it's gonna happen because fucking ESPN is fucking woke like fuck. They're gonna consistently push out fucking things to stir up racial narratives, the same way they did against Joker and Luca, the same way they did with fucking Caitlin Clark. You know, somehow in a country where the majority of the population is Caucasian, it's unfathomable that fans are going to like white players, right? And it's bad because it's not good for white people to support white people. That's what guys like John and all these other people try to say. That if you support white guys, white athletes, you're the problem. But yet they can support people that look like them, right? Inevitably, the way the world is moving now, white people are going to be more insulated, not less insulated. We fucking opened up to the whole world to move to our countries and fucking eat their cuisine, eat fucking with our hands, travel to India and fucking Asia. Like we've totally opened up to fucking the world. But unfortunately, the world is trying to fucking act like everything bad in the world is our fault and victimizing or attacking us. So, soon insulation is going to happen. Racism is going to increase and fucking increase even more. Why? Because of fucking necessity. People know that they're going to fucking have to be more racially focused to fucking survive in a world where everybody is fucking attacking them and hating them and fucking coming at them. You look at what's going on in Europe right now, that shit's going to happen in North America. It's already happening in Canada. So if it's happening in Canada, you know that shit's going to happen in the States. I mean, look at fucking Dearborn, Michigan. Like when you fucking have Muslim fucking music in the morning, waking up the fucking whole town so people can fucking do their shit. Imagine having fucking Christian bells fucking ringing. The outrage, the disgust. I remember fucking we had the Lord's Prayer every day in school in Canada, and then we had to stop the Lord's Prayer because it would offend some people, even though every school I went to, I don't fucking think there was any Muslims in my school. I don't think there was any Jews either. So I don't know who it was fucking offending. But now in England, people are learning how to fucking respect Muslim traditions. What? So you can't have the Lord's Prayer, but you're going to start pushing Muslim bullshit. But that's somehow equitable. That ain't equitable. And don't be surprised when motherfuckers get bent out of shape and fucking the boot comes down because the country is still dominated by a majority of fucking Caucasians. It's a Christian country, Caucasian fucking population. And the brothers should get on board too. I don't know why they're fucking too happy to be Muslims as well. They think fucking somehow. I mean, for us men, okay, we could all be Muslims, right? Being Muslims, it just means we're not going to be able to fucking drink, and we'll be able to fuck anybody, including goats. That'll be a-okay. I'm kidding, because people said that about Greeks, people said that about Kiwis, people said that about Scottish people. The whole goat fucking thing. Everybody's been accused of that. So it is what it is. Being Canadian, I guess I'm lucky that that's never been a racial stereotype towards my people. I guess we've got accused of fucking beavers. But, let's get back to this boxing shit. Because the truth is, I just don't understand the hate. When we look at these top fighters in boxing, and this is BoxRec pound for pound, so we know there's not much legitimacy in it, but Anui at number one, fine. Not most people don't have Anui at number one, but they obviously have him top three. Anui's 32 years old and is doing great things in boxing. Like I heard JB talking about how Devin Haney's doing everything right as a boxing fan. He's chasing all the smoke. He's a fucking guy that wants all the action. He's super professional, right? But yet, aren't you describing guys like Golovkin, Lomachenko, Junto, Anui? These guys are super professional. You don't even see them on social media. They're just fucking in the gym with their families. They don't have their families posted all over fucking the media. You could find pictures, but they don't do it. They're not on social media putting their families out there. They don't put out their family, their personal lives. They just fucking put out gym stuff. Fight, stay professional, do what they should do, right? They're the epitome of professionalism. You got to ask yourself why a lot of American promoters have went towards certain fighters and avoided others. It's because fucking of lack of professionalism. Look at fucking David Benavidez. Look at most of those PBC fighters, most of them. The one thing you knew you were getting from them was a lack of fucking professionalism, whether it was beating women, fucking being drunk in public, driving drunk and crashing your fucking ride, fucking get caught using fucking cocaine, coming in fucking too fat on the scale. Hank, David, multiple fighters, right? PBC as a promotional company is the fucking poster child for unprofessional fighters. You can give it to Devin Haney because he's not fucking part of the PBC, which is probably one of the reasons why he's had less of that kind of negativity thrown towards him. But he still had some of it, right? He still got in a fight with fucking a carny, right? We all saw that video. That was all out there. But to be fair, that's pretty marginal. Anybody can have a bad day, but overall, I mean, you look at these guys that are all getting a lot of attention and praise. These dudes are super professional for the most part. Anui, Crawford, Junto, Boots Ennis, Canelo, Shakur, David. Okay, he's 28 now, When he did a lot of his stupid things, he was younger. So we can give him a pass and say that he's becoming much more professional now that he's getting older. Bibble, fucking ultimate professional. Bam, the dude fucking hangs out with his wife and kids and trains. That's all he fucking does. Better BF, good Muslim guy. You see him with his kids and his family in Quebec. The dude fucking is a hard worker and a fucking great professional. Haney, Haney, as far as most of that stuff, I would occur. I agree, right? The only negative with him is that he wants to fucking somehow be relevant through the social media world. And I get it. People feel like they need to have all those social media followers to generate money, right? To walk in Tank Davis's footsteps. They feel that that's what they can do. If you can't do what Canelo Alvarez did, which is build a fan base naturally, then you got to fucking build it up artificially through fucking social media, right? Like Tank Davis did, you know, because Tank Davis never did what fans wanted him to do. And that's part of why he's being fucking kicked out the door right now. Because even people that supported him have lost fucking interest in him and what he was doing with his career. Javante, never professional. Tio, oh my God. Fucking Tio, Javante, Ryan Garcia. Fucking out of the four kings, the only one that's shown any professionalism is fucking Devin Haney. Usyk, consummate pro. Ortiz, consummate pro. Murtala, don't know. Janibek seems like he's consummate a professional. Espinoza, Shiraz, Ball, Zayas, Ramirez, Charlo, PBC fucking douchebag. Yabuki, Wardley, right? Like most of the top fighters in boxing are all super professional. Dudes that fucking work hard, are in the gym day in and day out, putting in the fucking work. I don't like Haney's boxing style, but he gets credit from me if he deserves it. Gotta keep it real. Yeah, and I give him credit when he deserves it. I said by beating Norman and becoming a three-weight world champion, like Junto, like Shakur, he will be on the pound for pound list like those two. And that's what he is, right? Same. On the list, just like them, right? But you don't see me jamming Shakur and fucking Junto Nakatani into the top fucking three of the pound for pound list. Just because I like Junto, I'm not trying to fucking push him above everybody else being a fanboy of him, right? I'm being fair and realistic. Loma, super professional, hard, religious guy, just like fucking Andre Ward. Great family man, just like fucking Andre Ward. Fucking trains with his dad. His dad, who, unlike the majority of these dudes, shuts the fuck up and is like a Newey's dad. Just does the work. He's not trying to get all the attention. He's not on social media going, look at me, look at me. I'm relevant because my kid is relevant. No, your kid is relevant. No one gives a fuck about you. And that's one reason people don't like Devin Haney, because his dad's a fucking douche. Just like reason people don't like Teal, because his dad's a fucking douche, right? Most of these dads are fucking toxic. They never shut the fuck up. They're living vicariously through their sons, hoping that somehow they become popular because of what their sons are doing. That's why you gotta love Lomachenko's dad and Inui's dad. They don't fucking want to talk to the media. They don't talk to the media. They realize their sons are the stars. Their sons are the boxers, right? They're not trying to fucking put their face out there going, look at me. He's popular and famous because of me. I did it. Give me the praise. No. And that's why those guys, professional. Uh, some of these dudes, man. And if you like that, that's cool. But again, people can have different fucking opinions, right? That's all I'm saying. If you like this guy and I don't like this guy, is that something to fucking hate on? Like, I don't need to like who you like. Everyone has a preference. Everybody has something they prefer. If you prefer Devin Haney landing 70 punches in a fight, fucking, you know, More power to you, because fucking that shit is boring as fuck and makes me fall asleep because of all the hugging and fucking holding. Who wants to watch it? Not me. But if you like it, who am I to tell you what you like? But why are you trying to tell me what I should like? I know what I saw. I also said Canelo was boring as fuck versus Skull. You didn't see me trying to fucking hype up the fight, going, "Oh my god, you just don't understand boxing." The subtlety of what Canelo Alvarez was doing to break down William Skull was a thing of beauty that only real boxing aficionados can appreciate. What a fucking pretentious cunt I would be to fucking try to push that fucking narrative. But that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. Because we know Canelo Skull was boring as fuck. What else was boring as fuck? Haney versus Ramirez. And you know what wasn't any different than Haney versus Ramirez? Haney versus fucking Norman. Just because he didn't run around the ring didn't make it fucking any more exciting. Outside of him dropping Norman in the second round, there was no fucking excitement in the whole fucking fight. That's like watching the Pacquiao Marquez #1 fight. Is that Marquez? Or yeah, Marquez, right? Marquez when he dropped him like 2, 3 times in the first round. Wasn't it Marquez? Maybe. But anyways, dropping him like fucking 3 times in the first round to go on to fucking not fucking getting rid of him. Even though you can't say that was a boring fight because those guys landed how many punches? Let's look. I'm just curious. What was the CompuBox scores for Marquez Pacquiao 1? Not Morales. The first fight, he dropped him like 3 times, and then Marquez fought back to fucking get a draw, but one of the scores was wrong, so Pacquiao deserved the win. Um, Marquez landed 158 punches. Pacquiao landed 148 punches in the first fight. In round one, despite getting 3 knockdowns, Marquez actually outlanded Pacquiao 13-11 in total punches. 13 and 11 punches landed. That's more than twice what Devin Haney averaged on average. Yeah, that's the first fight, right? And I don't even think that was the most punches landed in any of their fights. But that's the difference. A knockdown is a knockdown, but if you go on and then fight 10 rounds of doing fucking nothing, that's boring. Sorry. Sorry to break it to you, girls, but that's just the way it fucking goes. If you think it's exciting, that's cool. You should probably watch more amateur boxing. Against Morales gets dropped 3 times in their third fight. Oh, didn't he get stopped? Hardcore Corals in the house. What's up, my man? Pound for pound king. Who's the girl on your picture? I know she's only this big, but she looks hot. I can't get closer because my glasses are not magnifying. But yeah, she looks good. Looks far from good, good from far. I'm curious. Yeah, it's funny because the video was taken down. So you put out your video pushing bullshit. Again, look at this one. An opportunity to become pound for pound #1. Shakur, Haney, and David Benavidez. You know Benavidez is in that conversation only because I'm not being racist. I have a Latin fighter in the conversation. But yet, when you listen to the video, you know it has nothing to do with a Latin fighter. The two guys getting all the attention, potentially be number one, the two black guys, and the guy inevitably who will be number one, Devin fucking Haney. It's like, oh my God. In this world right now, I cannot imagine Devin Haney becoming pound for pound number one. Because currently at 147 pounds, there's literally nothing he could do to fucking become a pound for pound number one fighter. If he becomes undisputed at 147, potentially it puts him into the top three because now he's a two-weight undisputed champion. But who did he beat? Norman, Mario Barros, and even if it's Ryan Garcia, who gives a fuck? Uh, Crocker, and fucking Rolly Romero. Like, none of those guys are elite fighters. None are pound for pound. So even when you become undisputed in your second weight division, at that point you're just equaling what fucking Inui has done. At that time, Inui is inevitably going to do far more. Potentially beat fucking Junto Nakatani, potentially fight Bam Rodriguez, two pound for pound ranked fighters. Potentially move up to fight Nicholas Ball to become a 5-weight world champion, right? Inevitably staying ahead of you. The only thing that could benefit you would be if fucking Inui ends up getting beaten, and then you do become undisputed in the second weight division. And then based on that, you could go, look, I'm a 3-weight world champion. I've been undisputed in 2. And since all the other guys that were multiple division undisputed have retired or been beaten, then obviously I can justify myself being number one. But even then, I think fucking Shakur and other people are going to make real statements at that time as well. Who you got out of Shakur versus Tio? I favor Shakur to beat Tio, but I think it'd be ironic as fuck if Tio beat Shakur because the same dudes, man, are going to now have to start fucking hating on Tio hardcore because with wins over Lomachenko, Josh Taylor, and Shakur fucking Stevenson, there's not many fighters in boxing with 3 better wins on their resume. Bivol, he's got 3 wins just as good, if not better. Canelo, Zerto, better BF. But there's not many people with that kind of quality win, right? Like when we look at this pound for pound list, who's got 3 quality wins? Inui right now, obviously what he's done has it's more in the line of what Bud Crawford has done, right? He's done what he had to do in multiple divisions, dominated and destroyed the competition. But outside of Stephen Fulton, who, if he becomes a 3-weight world champion by beating Oshaki Foster, will be a fucking great win. Probably a better win than anything on Canelo's fucking resume, and probably better than anything on Bud Crawford's resume, right? Because think Stephen Fulton primed just becoming a 3-weight world champion. I mean, Crawford beating Canelo is a great win, but would you say Canelo was at his best at that point of his career? Beating Spence, I mean, Spence is a 1-weight world champion. The only person to beat Stephen Fulton would be fucking Inui, right? That win age is fucking great for Inui. But outside of him, what other elite win? MJ can go on to dominate the division, and then that win age is very good as well. If he beats Junto, potentially Junto can go on to fucking age very well as well. Obviously, Bam, but he hasn't beat those guys yet. So, you can't give him credit for fights he didn't win. Crawford, Spence, Canelo. Those are the 2 highlight wins of his career. Junto, obviously at this point, no real highlight wins. It's more of accumulation, right? He's beaten a ton of champions, guys that are currently world champions came back to win titles, just showing you how legit they are, right? Because we saw Spence, who you would say is better than everyone on Junto's resume, but he hasn't been able to come back and win a title after getting beat. Uh, John Ennis, he's getting all publicity based on potential, not based on actually doing anything. And he's older than Junto. Canelo, his best days are behind him, clearly. Shakur, the problem with him is health. He looks like potentially out of everyone I mentioned, Nui and Shakur, obviously Crawford is close to retirement, is probably the two top fighters I've mentioned so far. But Shakur, I don't know if he will fucking get another 6 professional fights in his career. Maybe. We'll have to see. Benavidez, he's looking good now for sure. And he's just coming into his prime. Bivol, Zerto, Canelo when he was pound for pound number one. Zerto, unbeaten fucking champion. And then better BF, a fucking 100% knockout monster who was undisputed. I mean, shit. If that don't impress you, I don't know what's going to impress you. Probably nothing. Dick Justice says, I got Shakur. I think his style is too much for Tio. Tio always had issues with outside boxers with good footwork, jab, timing. Tio is terrible on his front foot. He can't cut the ring off. Exactly. It's two counter punches, right? And the reality of the situation is, I think Shakur is just going to be the better man. And I don't think Tio has the style where he can do what he needs to do to beat Shakur, which is volume. Tio is great against come forward guys because he is a great counter puncher with fast hands, but when he needs to come forward, he usually looks terrible. Exactly. And that's the problem with Lomachenko, a come forward fighter, right? Sort of worked into fucking Tio's hands. You don't think Oshaki could beat Fulton? Oh no, I totally think he could beat him. Like I'm not saying Fulton beats him. I just say if Fulton beats him, what a fucking great win that is for Fulton. And what a great win that becomes for fucking Inui. Like, there's nobody really. I mean, come on. What's Devin Haney's best win compared to fucking Stephen Fulton? Lomachenko? Lomachenko wasn't a champion. He wasn't a unified champion when Devin Haney fought him. He wasn't unbeaten when Devin Haney fought him. Uh, Pound for pound, I think he will. Foster is better all around and naturally bigger. Yeah, and that's why you give him. I think Fulton is the better boxer overall, but I do think Foster is the bigger fighter, longer, and obviously the natural 130-pound fighter. So it's a big ask. But ask yourself this: why Fulton jump right into that fight? Quick, right? We have the other fighter, what's his face? Raymond Ford, who I would think is better than both of them, right? Truthfully, I think stylistically, power, speed, he's a better fighter than both of them. As an amateur fighter, way more fucking celebrity than either one of them. But yet, he doesn't look like he was eager to get that fucking Oshaki Foster smoke. Whereas Stephen Fulton, one fucking victory to become a champion and boom, right into that division, chasing after potentially the best fighter at 130. Potentially. People need to start typing in the chat. I agree. I don't know why people are so quiet. Fact, Sean, that victory would age so well if Fulton beats Foster. Man, like that shit is serious. I don't rate Ford. You don't rate Ford? Ford got fast hands. He's kind of like the modern Meldrick Taylor. Is he as good as Meldrick Taylor? No, but there's a lot of similarities. Both great amateurs, uh, both super fast hands, right? Guys with a little bit of pop, but you wouldn't say that they're hard punchers per se, but volume punchers, combination punchers, right? Good fighters. He should shut up a lot of haters. Uh, Fulton, well, you'll have to see him get on a pound for pound list, right? I'm at a casino playing a Pookie with headphones on. I mean, Inui haters would lose their shit. Well, the irony is they will find a way to fucking somehow not give Inui fucking credit, right? They'll somehow try to downplay it and diminish it. Like, you want to hype up Norman for Haney. But think about Oshaki Foster as far as a champion goes. He's a much more proven fucking champion than fucking Norman ever was. He's had way more successful title defenses, right? Is he the power puncher that Norman was? No. But you know he's a better all around fighter with a far more effective jab, right? So a victory over him is a legitimate victory. Do I think Stephen Fulton could do it? Yes, I do. Is he going to do it? I don't know. Do I want him to do it? Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. I love it because I just love to hold that shit over people's fucking heads, especially people that are trying to say Devin Haney is pound for pound number 3 over fucking Inui. Oh my word. Like, I told you dudes fucking months ago that that was the fucking play. And then it unfolds exactly like I fucking told you, right? People just trying to jam fucking people into that number 1 position. Same way they tried to jam Bud Crawford into that position for beating fucking Indongu. The same way they tried to jam fucking Andre Ward into that position for a fucking controversial fucking victory over Kovalev. A victory most people feel he fucking lost. Did he come back and get a great win in the rematch? Yeah, he did. But imagine if he would have lost the fucking first fight, how that potentially would have changed the whole outlook, the whole potential outcome of how things played out, right? You know, something to remember. And I don't understand people talking about you should appreciate boxers, you should appreciate their skill set, you should appreciate people doing great things in the sport. This is the 4th fight that Inui is having in 2025. Yu Jun Kim, a replacement opponent for his mandatory undefeated Sam Goodman. Raymond Cardenas, a replacement opponent for his mandatory fucking Sam Goodman. MJ Akhmedov, the fighter that he was ducking, afraid of, running from, right? And now Picasso, his unbeaten fucking mandatory. Like, I mean, people try to play this down, but literally, he's done what he had to do. Tried to fight his 2 mandatories that you're forced to fight as an undisputed fighter 2 every year. And then, of course, MJ, who was also his mandatory. So he was trying to fight Goodman, MJ, Picasso. His 3 mandatories out of the 4 that he has, so that he'll be available to do what next year? Fight Junto fucking Nakatani, right? And have no fucking onus on people stripping him and stealing his fucking titles. But don't be surprised if the IBF still does it because the IBF is terrible for fucking boxing. Um, I really like Foster. However, I'm a bigger Inui fan. I get you, Sean, though the aftermath would be so funny if Fulton wins. People will just say Fulton was drained at 122 if he beats Foster at 130. Exactly. Exactly. Inui's got to fight him now at 130 for a rematch. Remember they were saying that about Gary Russell when he lost to Lomachenko. Oh, Lomachenko's ducking a rematch with Gary Russell. Gary Russell, who remained at 126 and still has fucking only fought at 126. That Gary Russell, the guy that struggled to make weight at 126, but then remained at 126 his whole fucking career. Oh, imagine. You can't make this shit up. Ridiculous. But you know, that's just the way fucking haters roll, man. They just can't give certain people fucking credit. But then they'll moan about how FBA fighters just don't get credit. They're asked to do so much more. What? Tank Davis was praised like fucking God. He was supposed to be the face of boxing over Canelo Alvarez, a guy who's never unified titles and never given us the fight we fucking asked for. Never. Never. And then when he agreed to fight Jake Paul, people said, well, he's getting the bag. He's getting the bag. Yeah, which is fine if you're not a fucking world champion. When you're a world champion, like a Nui, you got fucking mandatories you need to fight. People that you're obligated to fight against, right? That's what comes with being a champion. Obligation, right? That's a real champion, a guy that follows his obligation, just like AJ did when he was champion at fucking heavyweight, right? People are like, he should be fighting fucking Wilder, but he's got a mandatory. If he loses his titles, then Wilder has no chance to fucking become undisputed, and neither does AJ. So you got to fucking meet your obligations, right? That's all. You could be like Usyk, you could be like Crawford, you could be like Haney, and other guys that were undisputed who don't fucking worry about their obligation. Once they accomplish what they need to do, then they choose to go in whatever direction they want to go in. Like Charlo, right? Charlo became undisputed at 154 and then fucking cashed out versus Canelo, jumping all the way up to 168. But that's Canelo's fault. Why is it Canelo's fault? The guy that had an obligation was Charlo, and Charlo didn't fulfill his obligation. Canelo did. He defended his undisputed 168-pound titles successfully for what, 4, 5, 6 times? So some people live up to their obligations. Some people just fucking don't. That's just the way it is. It is what it is. But as far as this card, I don't know what's the hate. This fight card is not on pay-per-view. It's free. See, you notice you don't see anywhere here pay-per-view. It's just view on DAZN. Whereas that PBC fight card is fucking pay-per-view. And people go, oh, every fight's a 50-50. It's a potential great matchup. Okay, that's fine. But there's no superstars on the fight card. This one, you got a superstar, a Nui. Isn't it ironic that when Tank Davis was fighting his mandatories, like Frank Martin or fucking other people are acting like, oh, it's fucking great. Great pay-per-views with Tank Davis because he's a superstar. But now Anui does the same thing, and it's not even on pay-per-view, and people are trying to downplay and dismiss and shit on this card. Like, really? There's nothing to hate about this card. Anui, the undisputed 122-pound champion, is fighting his WBC mandatory, David Picasso, in an undisputed unification fight. Then you get Hayata Tsutumi, who's 8-0, fighting James Dickens for Lamont Roach's vacated WBA World Super Featherweight title. For Tatsumi to become another Japanese champion inside 10 fights. Inside 10 fights. But people will say, who's he fought? He hasn't fought anyone. Literally, John, the douche that he is, looked at his amateur resume and said, look at this guy. He's 22-4, and he hasn't fought anyone. Like, look, he lost to fucking some guy that was 41-7, and he pointed out fucking this guy, 34-17. It's a fucking amateur fight. He also beat Lalo Alvarez, 204-34, right? But he has fought no one. Fucking Alvarez, isn't he like a 3-time gold medal winner? And then who else did he fight? Makito. Oh, Nakano. Isn't that the guy that we just saw fight for a world title recently? Then he fought Olbet Kolmatov, beat Kolmatov. We know Kolmatov. Kolmatov obviously was the guy that we just saw in a big fight from Ford. Raymond Ford beat him to become a world champion. But it's not his pro resume. His pro resume is here. 8-0, 5 KOs. And what's he done? His first fight, he fought a guy 23-13, then 16-3, 22-5, 11-0, ex-world champion Alcemo Moreno, 43-6-1, ex-world champion Rene Alvarado, 34-14, Albadoy, 20-30 or 30-3, and then 13-3-1, and now James Dickens, 36-5 for the WBA title. That shit's impressive. Dangerous, but legitimate. Why does BoxRec do that? There. Why you just be so difficult? I'm trying to scroll back. Why I need to click like 47 times before you fucking allow me to go? Then you get Junto Nakatani, a three-weight world champion who's moving to his fourth division, right? To take on Sebastian Hernandez Reyes. Go, who's him? He's nobody. He hasn't fought anyone. Fucking a Mexican fighter with a fucking 90% KO ratio. How many times have these kind of Mexicans been banana peels? Tons of times. Has he beaten great opposition? His last opponent was great. As at Halfarisian, 21-5, is a legitimate fucking top fighter in boxing. A guy who's already fought for world titles. He lost, but he fought for world titles already. So to fight him before stepping up to take on Junto Nakatani, legitimate fight. Legitimate. And two power punchers. So this shit could turn out to be fucking super exciting and dangerous. Usually, if you have a very good fighter that you're trying to put into a big fight, you usually don't put them in with power punchers because it's too dangerous. Then, of course, you have Garcia Perez, 23 6 and 2, who's currently the IBF World Super Flyweight Champion. Who's he fighting? Kenshiro Taraji. For Kenshiro Taraji to do what? Become a three-weight world champion, just like Shakur Stevenson, just like Junto Nakatani, just like Devin Haney. So I think that's pretty impressive. You could criticize him and go, how does he deserve a world title fight coming off of a loss? It was a fucking close split decision loss in Japan where the three judges, non-Japanese guys, went against the Japanese fighter who scored, I thought, a victory in the fight. Was it competitive? Sure, it was. When you think about Junto's last two fights, a Kui unification fight and Sandoval, two of the best fights of 2025, fucking great matchups. Now he's going to fight Perez to become a three-weight world champion. I think that's fucking great. And the best thing about it is we thought potentially that meant he was going to get an undisputed unification fight with Bam Rodriguez. But unfortunately, the IBF is fucking shit up again, so we're probably not going to get that. I respect the current pound for pound greats like Benavidez and Bam, giving credit to white gods like Chichi and Loma. John hates it. I personally had Tiraji barely winning the fight. Yeah, me too. If Taraji beats Perez, he's my fighter of the year. Even coming off of a loss, eh? Unifies titles, wins a title in another weight class. Well, there's a reason why he was on the pound for pound list, man. A unified champion in two divisions should have been undisputed at 112. Sorry, 108. But we know that Gonzalez ducked his ass like fucking crazy. Now to go up to one fucking 18, or sorry, 115 to put himself in line for a Bam Rodriguez fight. Like, isn't that exactly what you want fighters to do? Chase the fucking best fighters around them. And I think he's going to get fucking knocked out by fucking Bam Rodriguez. But the fact that he wanted that fight for undisputed, that's what you want dudes to chase, man. You know, chase all that smoke. And that's what Taraji's doing. Because Taraji, he knows fucking going for greatness is impressive. Even if he is to lose to Bam, but puts out a great fight, goes 12 rounds, super competitive, potentially drops Bam like fucking Estrada did. Even in losing, he fucking wins. Even in losing, he wins. Then we get two great young fighters. Imaga 9-0 versus Rabi. Like the winner of this is probably going to fucking be um, a mandatory for a world title. Like, let me just see. I saw Rabi, and Rabi is ranked pretty high by one of the sanctioning bodies. I can't remember which one it is. Let me just take a quick peek. Uh, boxing scenes, boxing rankings. But he's dangerous, Rabi. He's also a knockout puncher. So don't be surprised if the Japanese guy fucking loses. Uh, if Taraji beats Bam, that's probably the best win in boxing in the last 10 years. Fuck, man. Like, if Taraji beats Bam, that shit is crazy. Bam is bigger than Taraji. younger as well. Taraji has a lot of wear on his tires. That's true. So I think that fight, what weight class is that? Lightweight? Lightweight. Oh, another lightweight fight, eh? So where is that kid? There he is. Just like I told you. Amando Rabi is number 3 for the fucking Tank Davis world title, which means that Floyd Schofield is probably going to get that vacant title. And Rabi and my Canadian brethren, Lucas Badi, are right behind him, which means that the winner of this fight, a Japanese kid with 9 professional fights, could put himself in contention to get a world title fight in his fucking 11th fight, right? And I think he probably loses to Floyd Schofield, but once again, another Japanese fighter early in his career, fucking going for greatness, trying to win world titles against legitimate opponents. That's a mismatch. What's a mismatch? Bam versus Taraji? No, you can't say that. Taraji's fucking fought a lot of great fighters in his career. He's a very skilled fighter. The problem is, since he's moved up and got older, he hasn't been the same fighter he once was. He's got enamored with his power. Bam stops Taraji in 6. Defense is way too leaky to get away with against Bam. Possibly. But that's why you want the fights, right? It'd be another great name on Bam Rodriguez's fucking resume. Taraji is tiny. Bam rehydrates to 130. Well, that's probably true. Bam probably beats Taraji by KO. Yeah, that's what I just said. I think he probably stops him. But if Taraji can go the distance and be competitive for the fight, even in losing, he's winning. Taraji fan, I agree. Yeah, but wouldn't you love to see Taraji fucking do the unimaginable? I mean, back in the day when we had great fighters fucking lose to great fighters, then we got fucking trilogies, historical matchups, especially at these lower weight divisions. You remember Marcus's brother? Marcus's brother versus the guy that ended up what's his face? Israel Vasquez. 4 fucking fights. What fucking fights? Think about Michael Carbajal versus Humberto Gonzalez. What fucking fights? That's what fucking Bam needs. He needs an opponent that will put him in those kind of historical fucking great matchups. Of course, haters will say, well, he took a loss, so he can't be pound for pound fucking number 1 over fucking Devin Haney. But he'll be remembered fucking far more than Devin Haney will be. Bam struggles with tall guys. Nakatani would be a nightmare for him. These American divas don't like to rematch fighters after winning or robbing their opponents in close fights. Well, dudes are divas are just divas. You know, you get past a dangerous fight, you just want to skip it, which is unfortunate. You just think about Mimbili, who was just in a tough, very fucking great, one of the best fights of 2025 versus my Guatemalan fucking brethren. Everybody wanted to see that rematch, but it's not happening. And then we just had another great fight. Oh, Abdullah Mason versus what's his face? The British kid. People talked about, wouldn't you love to see that fight again? Sure. And I think Abdullah Mason fucking stops him inside 8 in the rematch, which would be fucking great for him to come back and learn from his first fight to come back and destroy that guy in a fucking rematch. But they probably won't do it, right? And in truth, it's probably hurtful for him because I think it would play out way better going into that fight after fighting this kid this last fight, coming in with a more controlled rematch strategy and fucking blitzing that dude in impressive fashion. It would probably catapult him onto some people's pound for pound lists. If Noakes wants a rematch, it should happen. Exactly. Yeah. And I'm sure Noakes wants a rematch because Noakes is a tough fucking kid, right? You know, you're getting good cash and another big opportunity. Why wouldn't you take it? If you're a real fighter, Noakes is going to believe he can adjust as well. Can he? I don't think so. But, here's the trying. Here's the trying. I would love to see you could put Noakes versus Mason on the undercard of Mbili versus Lester Martinez. Let's do it. Everybody would be fucking stoked with that shit. And then we got my favorite fighter, the Japanese Lomachenko, 3-0, fighting Quintana Sanchez, 12-1. You got a kid with only 3 professional fights fighting a dude that's 12-1 in his 4th professional fight. That's legitimate, man. But people gonna shit on him and go, hey, who's he? He's not fighting anybody. Nobody knows who he is. The only guy that beat him was a guy 18-1. So, and that was unanimous decision. Pretty easily beaten. Now you get thrown in with Ryota Tatsumi, 3-0, 2 knockouts, the 23-year-old Japanese prodigy. And that's what he is, prodigy. 1-2-1, 2-7-1, 7-2, now 12-1. By the time he gets to 10 fights, this kid's going to be in a world title fight. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. And Turki Al-Sheikh is fucking all over him. So this kid's going to get tons of opportunities. This is his 4th fight. And I think one of his fights has been in Japan. The rest of his fights have been in New York, Saudi Arabia again, and maybe one in Japan. Let's see. I didn't look, but let's see. So Riyadh season, Vegas, New York, New York. So 2 New York, 1 in Vegas. Fucking the kid's never fought in fucking Japan. Like imagine when he fucking comes back to Japan, the attention he's gonna fucking get, right? Because he was a fucking superstar. Like when people talk about Tsutsumi, they talked about him, not his brother, who is this close to becoming a champion. Tatsumi only has 3 fights. It feels like I've seen him on every Saudi card. Yeah, because you have, right? He's Riyadh season. So, like I said, every card, the 2 New York cards, the 1 in Riyadh season, and now the 4th in Riyadh season. So 4 Riyadh season cards back to back to back to back. And all in this year. Is it all this year? Yes. 5 fights in 2025. So he's fighting as much as Inui. Not quite the same competition, but still, this is his beginning of his career. But of course, John will go, he's fighting a guy who was 1-2-1. Oh my God. Yes, okay. He's only a kid. Who do you want him to fight? But I'm stoked to this card. I'm disappointed I'm not going to Japan to Saudi Arabia because I was excited. I had my hotel picked out. I had my plane ticket all set up. It would have been cool. That would have been something to get excited about, but oh well. Shit happens, you gotta roll with the punches. It is what it is. Titles don't mean that much to me. Guys like Noakes, Jermaine Ortiz are more skilled than Kambosos and Prograis and Norman. Yeah, no, those guys Haney beat for titles. Well, to be truthful, I don't know if you could say Noakes and Ortiz are more skillful than Prograis. Prograis was a legitimate world champion that beat legitimate opponents. And even his loss to Taylor was super close and super competitive. Norman, true, hadn't done anything. Kambosos had one fucking elite victory, which skyrocketed and catapulted into multiple money fights. So, why you don't go. I couldn't get a ticket. We still don't know exactly how good Noakes is. Exactly. We know he's tough, but also Nui versus Nakatani is bigger fight globally than Canelo versus Crawford. At this point, I think it is for sure because we already saw Crawford beat Canelo Alvarez. Junto versus Inui in Japan. I mean, you could do 100,000 people in that venue. It'll be fucking huge. I mean, the whole country is going to be talking about that. Japan is not America, right? They have a lot of great athletes. I mean, baseball, they're fucking got the best fucking baseball players in the world, best pitcher, best hitter in baseball today. But that's 2 guys. Boxing, you got a Nui. So that's 3. You got 1 golfer, right? The girl golfer, maybe a guy, I don't know. So, they really support their top athletes because it's not like they have so many compared to the US. Tens of millions of people in Japan watch the Koshin every year. That fight will easily do over 100 million views in Asia. But you can't tell fucking stupid motherfuckers like that. They really believe Floyd Mayweather is the biggest thing to ever happen to boxing. They have no fucking concept of how many people watched Frazier and fucking Ali live. Let's ask Chat GBT because they have all the answers. How many people watched Muhammad Ali versus George Foreman live on telecasts around the world? I heard it was like a billion people that watched that fight. A billion. And the world was much smaller at that time. Yeah. A billion fucking people. 1 billion people watched that fight. What was the global population in 1974? Probably 3.5 billion. So almost a third of the world's population watched fucking Ali versus Foreman. But you're going to tell me that fucking Floyd Mayweather is the biggest fighter in boxing history. See, only today with stupid motherfuckers can you push that kind of mentality. 4 billion in 1974. 4 billion. So 25% of the world's population watch fucking Foreman and Ali, me being one of them as a fucking 6-year-old. You can't make that shit up. That shit kills me. A billion fucking people watch that fight live. Billion. Uh, the question is why the Japanese dominate baseball now. High school baseball there is much bigger and generates way more money than US high school baseball. The talent pool is higher and it's far more competitive. Most hyped for sure. I don't think 1 billion people watched that fight, but I definitely believe more people watched that fight than Manny bullshit Floyd. What do you mean you don't believe it? I told you that so many people watched, and that's exactly what ChatGPT told you, because that is the consensus fucking number. That 25% of the global population watch fucking Foreman versus fucking Ali. Boombaye. Ali Boombaye. Ali Boombaye. Right? Let's How many people have watched Rumble in the Jungle movie? Yes, Manny Floyd. I mean, obviously a big fight, but come on, man. It's no Ali fucking Foreman. No, they made a movie documenting the fight. I'm just curious about how many people watched that movie. Yeah. But 1 billion people, man. 1 billion. But Floyd Mayweather's the biggest thing ever in boxing. Yeah, whatever is recognized as the overall earning for when we were kings. How many people watched it? How much money did it generate in theater and out of theater? All I know is I watched Pacquiao and Floyd when I went camping, and all my friends thought fucking Floyd was fucking boring as fuck, and they're non-boxing fans. That tells you everything you need to know. Floyd's boring. Oh, when Floyd was at 130 pounds, he was super exciting. Yeah, okay. But he didn't fight Pacquiao at 130. Floyd sucks. I agree. Dickhead, woman beater, boring motherfucker that just fleece fucking boxing public for fucking money. But thanks everyone for jumping in. I appreciate it as always. Obviously, this weekend we have some big boxing coming on. The PBC card. So we know that there's going to be something worth watching, even though you're going to have to pay fucking through the skin of the teeth to get it. So, and then Thursday, there's the big world title fight. Excuse me, with Nim Chong and Zarat. That should be a good fight for the lower weight fighters. And then we got this great card. Oh my god, it's so excellent. I can't believe it's on. Holy crap. Best thing ever. Holy unbelievable. Why they don't even list fucking these dudes anywhere. Why? Come on. How come I can't find them? That's some bullshit. You need to go through the old fashioned way. Jose Valenzuela, there you are. Isaac Cruz. I gotcha. Isaac Cruz. Take care, brother. Can't wait to see how Janabek looks. Well, it's going to be interesting for sure. But here you go. Roach versus Cruz. I'm predicting a boring Lamont Roach victory because I think the only way for him to win would be in a boring fight. Lara versus Janabek. I expect Janabek to win to become a three belt unified champion. Uh, Fight could be good because Laura is not the runner that he used to be. Fulton versus Oshaki Foster. I'm leaning towards picking Fulton, but that's mostly because mind over matter. Ramos is easily going to beat Mosley. That fight potentially could be the best fight on the card, just because Mosley is uh, not that hard to hit. Frank Martin against Francis Bartholomew easily could be one of the worst fights fucking ever seen on TV. Isaac Lucera will beat and stop Roberto Valenzuela Jr. Uh, Elijah Garcia will flatten Alexis Gayton. It's about time they gave the kid an easy fight because he's had two back-to-back killer fights. The least they should do is throw him in with an easy opponent. But it's ironic because look how far he is down on this card. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Eight. Luis Nunez is in front of him. And I can tell you, I don't even know who Luis Nunez is. 21 and 0, 14 KOs, Dominican fighter, fighting Hector Sosa, 18 and 3. I don't know either guy. So, I don't know if that fight's going to be fun or not. But overall, it's not a bad card as far as fights worth watching. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Like 8 fights in the card might be entertaining. And as far as the lower ones, there's the last 4 fights that'll probably be free on TV. Robert fucking Guerrero. Robert fucking Guerrero. Like we need to see Robert Guerrero's fucking son. 6 and 0 with 3 KOs, 18 years old. I mean, really? Really? Let's put him in context. He's in his 7th professional fight. and he's fighting fucking guys that are way worse than fucking Ryota Tatsumi. Way worse. But fucking the PBC loves to fucking put like some bullshit on. Holy crap. Hopefully fucking we don't have to spend our whole career watching Robert Guerrero fucking son fight, but let me know what you think. Thanks everyone for jumping in. I will see you next time this weekend, live Sunday. Be there.